One of the surest feelings and emotion that you are going to experience in the gray season is going to be that of discouragement. And you have probably already experienced this. Sometimes it will show up in the form of despair and hopelessness. And other times it will just be plainly discouraged. And especially when your gray has been overstretched, when you have been in the gray longer than you anticipated, when you've done everything that you thought you need to do, but still there's no end in sight. Recently, I had a day like that. I was feeling really discouraged and tired. And so I journaled. I did use the Neurocycle app to journal. And so in this episode, I want to share with you my journaling process. And the reason that I want to do this is because I strongly believe in journaling, and especially journaling to increase your self-awareness, to change patterns and to redirect your thinking or your mind. If you have the privilege of using the app, which if you have a smartphone, you should be able to, or you would be able to, because there is a ton of free information on there. The Neurocycle app is one great tool that I've been using for the whole year and has been really helpful. And I want to commend it to you. It's going to be a great tool for this journey. So I'll be sharing my thoughts and how I did that, and also just so we can connect, and so we can all feel that we're not alone. There's a lot more people in the gray. Right. All right. So the way I'll do this is I'll share the 5 steps of neurocycling, and I will share with you how I was feeling when I began and how I felt by the time I was finishing. But first things first, if you're new here, welcome. And my name is Mary. And in this channel, I just share tools, mind management tools, emotional regulation skills or tools, as well as some spiritual practices that help us navigate the gray season with more ease. You are very welcome here. So let's start with the first step. First of 5, which is usually gathering warning signals. So physically, how was I feeling? I was feeling tired and very lazy. Emotionally, the emotional warning signals I had were I was really angry and sad and discouraged. And then the reflecting part, which is where you just ask questions, you answer those questions, and then you discuss them. So I did that and then got to the third part where you write. So the first question was, why do you feel this way? My answer was, I was hoping that my gray season was going to be shorter than it has turned out to be. I was hoping for better things sooner than they are. And I was just feeling tired of hoping and waiting. That was my why I was feeling discouraged. Another question, she goes in deeper and asks, so what triggered this? When did it start? What happened? And for me, what had happened was I was looking at my pictures from old times, and I just missed those times. I missed the community in those times. I missed a lot of things in those times, but I also did not have a holistic picture of, I narrowed my mind to the good that was captured in the picture and not the holistic picture of how things really were. So that was it. I just got triggered because I was comparing things back then, and I was not allowing myself to have the complete picture of how things were. As always, there's always good and bad, but I was just focusing on the good and not forgetting the not so good that also was in the past. She goes in deeper with questions and say, why did I have these expectations that my gray was going to be shorter? Well, my answer was just because I think I deserve it. I deserve to get a break. I deserve to have a break and to be in a flourishing environment. And then the next question was, were my expectations reasonable? Now here, I found that my expectations were twofold: reasonable and unreasonable. Reasonable in the sense that we all deserve good things. We all deserve flourishing environments. We all deserve to be happy, but unreasonable in the sense that nobody had given me these timelines that I was working with. And I also found that there was a little bit of entitlement in my expectations. Now, in this reflect stage, she asks so many questions, which is what I am going through, and I won't read all of them, but I hope you can already see that this is a little bit different from traditional journaling because it is going deeper into even questioning your thought patterns. For example, were my expectations realistic, right? Traditionally, I would just have left it at, I am feeling bad because this and this happened, period. But here it goes on deeper. And then it goes even deeper and asks, how did I behave? What was my behavior as a result of my expectations and those thoughts? Well, my behavior was I didn't do the simple tasks that I had decided I was going to do for the day, like going to church. And then it goes on to ask deeper question. What about the past and a better future makes you wanted? And some of the answers that I had were I just really longed and desired to belong again to a close-knit group, be it family, be it friends, just community and society. I really longed for that. And then about the future, I just think that I might get that again. And then, yeah, which again, it's not completely true because I don't even know I don't know how much time I have, right? Like the future isn't promised. That's the point. And then it goes on deeper and says, what is in your control right now? You are definitely in the past and in the future, but right now, what's in your control? Two of the things that I found among many were what's in my control is now. What's in my control is what I have in terms of my room, my space, my meals, what I want, how I want to take care. I can take care of the small things that will make me feel safe and taken care of in this time. I also decided that my spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being were in my control as well. I could reach out to those people that I have right now for support. The questions continue. I'm just going to stop at that one, but the questions continue to get even deeper and deeper and deeper into this discouragement feeling that I was having. And then we got to step 4. In step 4, it helps you find patterns. It helps you get even deeper, get underneath that feeling and look at yourself in light of this feeling that you had. And one of the great questions that was asked was, what have I learned about myself? I had learned that now I know that I get really discouraged, especially in my grace season, when I glorify or dwell in the past, and especially when I don't have a holistic picture of how things really were, when I don't balance the good and the not so good times. So now I know when this happens again, I will remind myself to actually have a more holistic picture and not just one, just not think of the good times without acknowledging that there are some hard and difficult things as well, right? Another really good question that she asked was, what can I change during my grace season to avoid avoidable discouragement? And I thought this was such a great question. It is now taking you out of the position that you were emotionally, and it is getting you into the power of, okay, now you do have power to do something about it. By the time I was at this point, I had come from this highly emotionally charged place where I was writing in tears to a place where I was feeling really empowered that I do have control over now. And that's what really matters, not the past or the future. It's now. I was feeling really encouraged and empowered in that I know better now. I know deeper now about this discouragement. And then finally, go to the act of reach. Act of reach is usually just where you find something positive that you're going to think about, you're going to say, you're going to do, that will help you anchor into the good or the positive thoughts, positive feelings. one thing that I knew that I had understood from all of this is that it's not exactly that I missed the old times, the community and all that. It is right now that I was desiring, that I was longing for to have that human connection, not over the phone, which is amazing, but just to have that one-on-one human connection. And so I decided that I was going to lean in more to the community that I already have, because I do have a community of very supportive individuals, but I was choosing to dwell in the past and ignore that. So it was really helpful to do this exercise. Other things that I decided as act of reach was I was going to practice being mindful, just being present right now, and to be grateful for right now. There was also one affirmation that I came up with, which was, I feel really discouraged, but who says that I need to dwell in that feeling of discouragement? Everybody gets discouraged, but you don't have to dwell in that feeling. You can learn. The thing with the gray season, which I mentioned in the previous video, is it's a very emotionally charged place. And the beauty with that is that we can use these emotions for our own good. So sometimes discouragement or just negative emotions, and actually not sometimes, forever, discouragement or negative emotions will never destroy us unless we let them. But if dealt with analytically, these negative emotions can help build mental resilience and brain health. So this is like the blessing or the silver lining with going through hard times, because you can use those difficult times to actually build mental and emotional resilience. So I have shared my 5 steps. There's a lot that I didn't share, but I am hoping just from that you are able to, you feel more encouraged to check out the app. Dr. Caroline Leaf is all over the place on Google, social media. Just check her out. And also I will link the app on my description box, because I really do want you to get it. I really want you to have it as part of your self-care tool. And I hope this has been really helpful. Yeah, and I will see you next time. I wish you all the best. I hope and I pray that you may be happy, that you may be well, and that you may get more grace and strength in your grace.